Just 2 days ago, Bandai Namco released their Know Your Fighters article for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Inside this article are many details about the game. There are also many details categorizing the fighters, which should be fun to explore as well. One thing I'm looking forward to the most is spending time listening to the character encyclopedias narrated by one of the characters. That isn't confirmed, but it did exist in previous titles, so I'm holding out hope. Now, without further ado, let's get into this article. After a long time coming, we finally have confirmation that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's starting roster will be 182 playable characters. I say 182 because they're omitting the pre-order character, which we now know is Dragon Ball Daima Goku. They say, in this article, we will go into details about characters' fighting styles and unique appearances you can find in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. On top of that, they're going to show us some special maneuvers, quick time event stuff, switches, transformations, and fusions. So that should be cool. If you've ever seen any of these Bandai Namco type articles, they're normally broken up into 3 pieces in the summary. So first off, we have strength type characters. Strength type characters base most of their gameplay around their heavy strike and powerful blast. Although they might be slower, their raw power will compensate as they deal high damage to their opponent. Some of these characters are so strength oriented that some may not even stagger from ki blasts and smash attacks. Alright, so that's probably going to be like Broly at his full power, maybe Super Trunks. They might give that to who else? Who else could they probably give that to? Bojack maybe. The Fusion Android, what is it, 13? Yeah, those kind of characters. Based on their statistics, these characters can have 2 types of specialization: melee and blast. The first one will enhance the damage dealt with rush combos in close combat, while the second implies that the character can rely on blast attack and ki blast to inflict damage. Oh, so even among strength characters, they're further divided. I didn't know that. So this article is already serving its purpose, because that's actually pretty cool. I didn't realize that they were divided like that. Continuing down, we have speed type characters. On the opposite end, some characters base their attack strategy on their swiftness, which they use for long-lasting assaults, which are hard to interrupt. Oh, so okay, so they're the ones with like the fast combos like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan had back in the day, Birder, of course, Kakunsa as they show. Even if some of their strikes are lighter, your opponent will have trouble trying to catch you as you move quickly all over the map and deliver combos with stunning speed. I see. Escaping from rush combos of characters that rely on speed will be tougher for the opponent compared to characters not fitting in this category. It might mean like based on the timing for your vanishes, because I don't know if you guys have played Budokai Tenkaichi, but in that trilogy you pressed circle or I believe B to escape combos by vanishing. So you had to time your press with the other character hitting your character and you would vanish out. If it's a speed type character, it's gonna be a bit harder to vanish out. Maybe the timing will be a little bit more tight. So that'll be pretty cool. Next up, we have ki blast type characters. So we have our Vegetas and who else would fit in this category? Maybe oh okay, they say Goku in the article and Frieza, but I mean I would assume those, like, these characters are kind of more all around, but let me just read it, let me let them cook. There are some characters who are masters of ki blast, excelling in a fighting style that they can maintain control while keeping the opponent at a distance. They have the ability to fire multiple consecutive energy blasts while consuming the minimal energy. Vegeta is a good example, who is known for his powerful and rapid ki blast attacks. Other characters include Goku, who can unleash iconic Kamehameha, and Frieza, who possesses precise death beam. Okay, so these characters are gonna be shooting a lot of blast. But anyways, let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have giant characters. Now these were a fan favorite back in the day. I remember being a kid and we used to have grade 8 tournaments where me and like 3 other friends would come over and we just mob the world tournament stage with grade 8s, and whoever loses. It was such good times, man. I can't wait to recreate some of those moments with you guys online. That's gonna be awesome. I saw that we can do specialized custom tournaments, so I want to do some things like that, you know, with the community. I'd love for you guys to be able to get into the videos, and you know, if you guys create content, that would also be pretty cool. You know, if we could all work together as a community. If we do community tournaments, that's a big collab right there. So that'd be pretty cool too. I'm interested to see all the things that this game can, you know, provide for all of us. Now let's get into the reading. So giant characters, given their impressive size, these characters are much slower than others, but they strike more powerful blows that will stagger and send your opponent flying away. On top of that, they are numb to throw and some blast attack. You can take advantage of their overwhelming presence on the map to hit your opponent with a wider hit range. Their impressive size and power come at the expense of sometimes having trouble hitting smaller opponents, which may evade their assault more easily. Next up are android characters. Androids are artificial humans that do not necessarily possess ki. In fact, they cannot charge their ki blast, or their ki bar, unless their energy reaches the maximum level. Their ki gauge will charge automatically over time or through melee attacks, and it will stop charging once it reaches its maximum. To incorporate this into your strategy, continuously strike with rush combos, giving your opponent no chance to charge his ki. Some androids even have the ability to absorb ki blast, and certain blast attacks during super perception will charge their gauge much faster. The characters that automatically charge to the maximum are Android 13, Android 16, Android 17, and 18. On the other hand, 19 and 20 can charge more by landing melee attacks, and furthermore, they can absorb opponents' ki blasts and some ki wave blasts. Interesting. We knew that from the previous games that those two androids can absorb ki. RIP Super 17. We'll see you in the DLC, buddy. That'll be pretty cool too. Like, I want to see that in gameplay. Like, I want to see online someone absorb a Kamehameha or a Spirit Bomb or something. Like, that'll be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I can't wait till this game releases, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So here we've reached the second chunk of the article. Here we're gonna distinguish the characters. It seems more like specific play styles rather than their overarching like categories. So try characters with unique looks and distinctions in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The game will faithfully reproduce some features of the series, whether it is accessory, ability, or cosmetics that may or may not affect the character's gameplay. Like a Sora character, you can enjoy multiple ways and fighting styles in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, as sword fighting is one of them. Iconic swordsmen from the series will use their sword in a lot of combos, rush and blast attacks to faithfully recreate their famous moves. There are also characters who use a sword to launch energy blasts that pierce through guards with a smash energy blast. Okay, characters like Tapion and Yajirobe and Janemba and I believe like King Cold and Dabura could charge their ki blast, and it would like come out like a slice or an arc. You know, you couldn't block it, so it would force you to dodge. That's cool that they're bringing that back. It's good attention to detail. So Bandai gets a thumbs up from me. Super Aura. Some characters, such as the strongest forms in Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, have their aura always being on. Their power is overflowing, which results in stunning visual expression of their ki. Okay, cool. So I don't know if this like has any gameplay change, I guess, but yeah, I believe in the previous games when your aura was like charged up to the max, your energy bar was charged up all the way to the max, like your aura would come out. So I guess in this game, certain characters, probably like UI Goku and Jiren, their aura will be just radiating off of them the entire battle, regardless of whether they have ki in their ki bar or not. So that's pretty cool. The Scouter is an iconic item from the Dragon Ball series. In this game, you can select characters mostly from the Frieza Force and equip them the Scouter as an accessory, which will grant a boost of search radius when equipped depending on the quality of the Scouter equipped. Oh, that's actually pretty specific. That's pretty cool. With this precious accessory, the players will be able to avoid losing track of their opponent for too long. Note that the damage taken during the battle could result in the destruction of the Scouter. When the Scouter is destroyed, it becomes difficult to locate the opponent if they are lost from sight. Interesting. So what it seems like is maybe the characters who have a Scouter will like find it easier to sense others, but if they get beat up and the Scouter is broken, then it becomes much harder. So that's actually kind of cool. There's so many small details that can really affect your team balance in this game. I really appreciate their attention to detail, man. I can't wait till this game comes out and has had time to really catch its stride. I really believe this could be like Dragon Ball's game. Like this is gonna be the Dragon Ball game for getting the actual experience of Dragon Ball. Like we have Kakarot for the story, we have Xenoverse for the, you know, self-insert, but Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is really gonna be that Dragon Ball like toy box that we always wanted. I mean, we had it with Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but it's been so long. Nowadays, if you have friends, it's fun, but you can't lie, the visuals are extremely dated. So it's beautiful that we're finally finally getting this game after 17 years. Next, we have ground characters. Like in the original Dragon Ball series, some characters cannot fly. Once they jump, they will slowly fall back to the ground as they cannot remain in the air for a long time, compared to flying characters. Oh, okay. On the other hand, they are the only ones that are able to run on the ground, so take advantage of their skills and try to get the fight to take place on the ground. Interesting. When they say they're faster or like they're able to run on the ground, like do they mean they're faster than everybody else? Like if I fly to the ground as Goku and then rush to my enemy, I know I'm gonna dash off the ground technically, but like are walking characters faster? That can also add for some interesting gameplay. That's pretty cool. Wow, okay. This game is gonna be way deeper than any of us like realize already. I can tell because this is just information that they're willing to divulge. Who knows what they have cooking behind the scenes, you know what I mean? This is really a generational game, man. Special maneuvers. Okay, here's the part that I'm most interested for. In Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, you can perform several maneuvers that do not fall under the combo category or the blast attack category. These gameplay features are numerous and range from the transformation to QTE sequences. Let's have a look at them and how they bring spotlight on characters during the fight. Transformation. Select the desired transformation and press up to display the transformation panel to perform it during the fight. While using skill counts, once transformed, the statistics of the character will improve. Right. So that's like normal. Okay, so that's just, you know, transformation. You go Super Saiyan, your character is gonna do more damage, you know, have more defense, move a little bit faster. Combo might change. That's standard, you know, standard stuff. Fusion. Fusion can only be used when two characters who can fuse are in your team. Fuse into the character shown on the fusion panel by pressing up L1, R1 to switch the transformation panel to the fusion panel. Then select one of the buttons. Once fused, both characters will disappear from your team member screen and be replaced by a single fused character. Note, they cannot go back to normal. So that also adds a layer to your team building. And I used to do this to my cousins and friends when we used to play a long time ago back in the day. I used to pick like Goten and Trunks or Goku and Vegeta or, you know, Kibito and Supreme Kai or whatever, just to make sure I had like in my back pocket their fusion. I would let the characters get low health, you know, through fighting regularly, but switch out before they die, so that way I could keep them in the back, because once you fuse them, then your health will go all the way back up, or maybe not all the way back up. I might be misremembering that, but I know your health goes up and you, of course your stats are higher. So it was a great trump card then, and I'm sure it'll be a great trump card now. Switching. The switch is possible once the change icon is lightened. Press left to display the switch panel, then choose the character you want to switch with by pressing one of the buttons. This mechanic can lead to other gameplay features such as chase change. Now, I think I heard about chase change, and I think it kind of works like, what am I thinking of? There's something where, oh, is it Storm? Yeah, Storm. In the Storm games, in the Storm franchise, you can start a combo with one character and then chase or swap out, and it will initiate the character that's coming into the battle, initiating an attack. So you can seamlessly switch through combos if you time it correctly. So I'm wondering if this game will end up like in the high level, ending up with chase changes happening as soon as possible and like full team battles happening over the course of one match. That would be pretty cool. You know, players maximize that feature. That'd be pretty awesome. We'll see how it works in game. Maybe there's some things they have in place to avoid infinite switching, but I think it might be pretty cool if it was loopable. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Maybe that might be a little too OP. Some people feel like maybe it'll make the ceiling too high. I can see that kinda, cause I can imagine it's the same thing like people go through when thinking about playing fighters or Tekken or Street Fighter. Like you get hit once and then you're comboed for the rest of the match. But I feel like this game has a lot of defensive options to escape, so I think it'd be a good idea. Let me know what you think down below. Sparking mode. To enter sparking mode, you must charge your key gauge to its maximum, and even further, you will need to spend one skill count to reach sparking mode. Sparking mode not only enhances your abilities, but also offers a variety of other benefits, such as allowing you to shoot ki blasts without consuming ki. I didn't know that, I don't think. Use moves such as Violent Rush while in sparking mode. You can perform continuous rush attacks until your gauge runs out, resulting in an uninterrupted barrage of melee attacks. So yeah, there's actually a clip going around of Broly like pummeling Gohan into the wall, and that's exactly what they're referring to. That's Violent Rush. So in the previous Budokai Tenkaichi series, you could do the same thing. You could go into your full power mode or sparking mode. I'm not sure if that's what it was called then too, but you can continue to just press X and lay into your opponent with the entire like timer of your ki running out. You can just beat them the entire time, and it used to be hilarious. If you get the other fighter by behind, you could just punch them until they, you know, die, and it was hilarious. So I'm glad to see that makes a return. And you can also perform Hyper Smash, which will inevitably break the guards of your opponent, or Super Movement, as it consumes some of your sparking gauge and allows you to vanish and move instantly. So yeah, that's also a thing. I remember in the previous Budokai Tenkaichi games, specifically Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I remember Hyper Smash was activated, if I'm remembering correctly, by initiating like the hold square, hold light attack, and then, you know, aim the stick in the direction you want to knock the enemy, and then letting it go with the timing perfect, and you teleport forward, guaranteeing and making it more difficult for the opponent to dodge out of. So I'm thinking that's what they're referring to. We'll see when the game comes out, like we have to do with everything else. Emoting. You can perform emotes displayed on the emote panel by pressing right and assigning the emote to a character prior to the fight. Perform the emote with your favorite characters to take cool stances. So that's pretty cool. I hope to you know, hear a return of some of the characters' most iconic lines. QTEs, or quick time events. Once certain moves are performed at the same time by both players, a dynamic QTE, or quick time event, sequence will start, in which the winner can take advantage in the battle by dealing additional damage and sending his opponent away. Quick time events will make your fights even more unique and unpredictable, as they require a shift in the way the battle flows. Make sure to include it in your battle strategy by making it a turning point in the battles to throw your opponent's rhythm off. So, of course, here we have all the clashes. I'm pretty sure that's what they mean by quick time events. Like, we see one clash down there at the bottom, and I'm pretty sure they're going to show the other ones off. So this should be interesting because we have some new ones for the franchise that I'm not really sure how to activate, so this should be helpful to everyone. So the first one we have is Speed Impact. A Speed Impact sees the two fighters clash and trade a series of blows. Perform a Speed Impact by clashing with your opponent using a Dragon Dash. This also occurs when a Rush type Ki Blast collides with a Dragon Dash. Okay, so this is the regular, you know, dash clash. This impact action is divided into two main parts. First, during the single strike, both sides must match their inputs with what's being shown on the screen. Oh, wait, okay, let me look closely. I see. So okay, so they have the buttons blurred out, but okay, I can kind of guess how that might go. So, okay, wow, okay. Sorry, I'm like I said, this is my first time really getting to read and process what they mean by these things too, so forgive me. Once the winner of the single attack is decided, the action proceeds to rapid strikes. During rapid strikes, the final damage inflicted is decided by the number of inputs performed by each player. Once the rapid strike ends, the winner of the single strike will send the loser flying in, concluding the encounter. Wow, okay, so if I'm understanding this right, the person who wins like it says, the clash is two parts. The very first part is the QTE button press, where you have to press the correct button. That decides who's gonna win the clash. However, say you do better in the actual like mashing part of the clash, you can still out damage the enemy, but you're still gonna get knocked flying, I think, which is also pretty cool, because maybe you're better at the first part. You know, it may not be a good idea to initiate a clash with an enemy if they're better than you at dealing damage. Yeah, you're gonna get the advantage in knocking them away, but if you don't have that much health and they're a better fighter than you, then it's a bad idea to initiate that clash and guarantee yourself that damage. So that should add another layer again to gameplay. That's very cool. Power Impact. Power Impact happens once two characters perform a throw at the same time. Okay, this impact action is centered around pairing strength by holding corresponding buttons. During the clash, a gauge will be displayed. You must adjust your inputs in order to not exceed the needle. Once the winner is determined by those whose gauge is closest to the needle when Power Impact ends. Wait, what? Okay, so you grab and then how do you increase that gauge? I don't get that one. We'll have to figure that one out like through testing. Crash impact. Crash impact is triggered when both characters use a step at the same time. Once the crash impact begins, the two sides will be randomly assigned the roles attacker and defender. The inputs shown for the attacker and the defender are different, so the players must follow the directions on screen. If the attacker wins the exchange, the defender will take damage. If the defender wins, they will protect themselves. A maximum number of 3 exchanges will take place. The first player to win 2 exchanges will knock back the other player. That's also a really cool mechanic. This was not a type of clash, I don't believe, in the previous Tenkaichi games either. So this is really cool as well. I can't wait to you know, have my, I mean, when you play, this is gonna happen like in ranked matches. This is gonna be really hype. I can see it raising, not really raising the stakes to the match, but like making you lean forward in your chair a little bit. Like, this is clean. I mean, any Dragon Ball fan knows what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, and here we have the legendary action beam struggle. Blast impact is an impact action that occurs upon the collision of 2 ranged blast attacks. When a blast impact begins, a meter will be displayed on the screen and a gauge on the right side will begin increasing. Pressing will convert the gauge into energy for your blast, affecting whose blast comes out on top. In addition to single button presses, you can increase your power through rapidly tapping the button as well. Okay, so you can decide if you want to like spam it really fast like the old way, or time your presses to give like pumps of power, freaky ass blast attacks. Okay, that's vicious though. That's also super clean, bruh. So yeah, this game is gonna be awesome, bruh. We're gonna have so many cool finishes, so many fun community tournaments, even past whenever this game ends up quote unquote dying, if ever. Just know I'm still gonna be there, bruh. I'm here from day one. I will be there. This is it. No matter what you talk about, what events this game got going on, I will be there.